Okay, there's a ton of information being exchanged out on the internet right now about this whole Liberty Safe debacle. Electronic, mechanical locks, backdoors, passwords, override codes, all this fun stuff. So, this is a mechanical three-wheel lock. Comes with a dial that looks kind of like so. And in my opinion, this is probably one of the more secure ways to go. This lock gets mounted on the safe at the factory, and then they set it to a code. They then record that code, and they match that with the serial number of the safe. The safe gets sold to you. You take the safe home. If you ever have a problem, somebody, you or a family member, if you pass away or something happens to you, can call in, provide the correct documentation, and then they will send the code out to that person in some cases. If the code was changed, then that no longer applies, okay? Then there's no one that has the code except for the locksmith or qualified competent safe technician that put it there and set it, and the person that hired them. Those are the only two people on the planet that know the code once it's been changed after it leaves the factory. Not so much the case with electronic locks. With electronic locks, what you have is you have a MRC or master reset code or a master code or a super master code built into the lock itself that is tied to the serial number of the safe and tied to the serial number of the lock that allows that backdoor entrance into it. You can change the user code all you want and the other codes do not change, meaning there is always a master code or a backdoor or an MRC code built into your lock. So how do you protect yourself and change that? Well, the first thing is get rid of the electronic lock, go back to the good old mechanical dial. I know it's not as easy and convenient. You have to dial it, 4 times this way, 3 times that way, 2 times this way, 1 time this way. It's more difficult to operate and it doesn't take multiple users. However, it is tried and true. I tell people all the time, I get asked all the time, should I get the mechanical lock or should I get the electronic lock? And here's my spiel. The average person can open a mechanical 3-wheel lock once or twice a day for between 20 and 30 years and never have a problem or not have a problem, okay? In most cases, if it's well maintained and they treat it well, it's not in harsh environments, there should be no reason that that couldn't happen. An electronic lock, on the other hand, usually has a shelf life in a commercial application of about 5 to 7 years. In a residential application, I would say it's 7 to 10 years, meaning that electronics just start to fail after a certain amount of time, after they've been used and worked. So if I see a lock that's an electronic lock that has a time or date stamp when it was created that is 5 years or older on a commercial application, I will suggest they replace that lock. If it's 7 to 10 years old on a residence, then I will suggest that they change that lock on the residential side of things. Also, once you change the combination on this lock here, the manufacturer no longer has it. If you change it here, they still have the backdoor codes into it in most cases, okay? So I'm sure there's a ton of people that are going to be going out there and getting rid of their electronic locks and installing mechanical locks. Great, if you want to do that. That is awesome. It's got the same bolt pattern. You'll see the bolts line up just the same. The distance between here, 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 and here is all about the same. So you literally unbolt and bolt in most gun safe applications. This does not apply to home safes. If you have a Century or any of those, hardware store or big box store home safes, probably not going to apply. They didn't invest to put a quality lock on there, therefore probably not going to be able to switch that out. By the way, most of those companies probably have the codes on file too, okay? So keep that in mind. Hire a qualified, competent safe technician to change your lock out. And I really highly suggest this. I'm not going to be able to change all these locks. I'm not going to make any money off of it. I'm just telling you, most of the safes that I go to open are from DIYers trying to change the lockout themselves and setting off or forgetting about other security devices built into that safe to help protect it from an attack that you don't know about yet, and accidentally shutting the door, sliding the handle, and firing one of those devices off. And now whether you have the code or not, or a backup code, or a reset code, or an MRC, none of it is going to matter. You're still not going to be able to get into the container. So go to SAVTA, SAVTA.org, and find a qualified, competent safe technician. Okay, you type in your zip code, and it should come up with a list of people in your area. If there's nobody close, the next best option is to go to ALOA, ALOA.org. They will have a list of qualified, competent locksmiths. Locksmith is not always a safe technician. Safe technician is not always a locksmith. Locksmith is much more common, safe technician much less common. I happen to be both because I work on both all of the time, and I specialize in safe work. So, make sure you hire a qualified, competent professional, just like you would hire a qualified ASE technician to work on your car, right? Hire a qualified, competent technician to work on your safe where your most valuable possessions are being held. Okay? For more information, check out the website below. There's also a longer, more in-depth video that I'll post a link to. If you want to check that out, go ahead and do so. Other than that, have a great day. Enjoy, and hire a qualified, competent professional, and get your safe secured to the point you want it to be at, and so that manufacturer does not have those back doors built into your container if that is what is going to make you sleep better at night. Thanks for watching.